Shalom. I'm going to start out foremost by giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Kaddish. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike teach 100% true. Shalom, Brakathum to them, double honors to the apostle and the elders of GMS and ones alike teach 100% truth and for the edification and knowledge. And all praise to Yahweh. Again, foremost to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshua, Ba'ashem Kaddish. Tonight's lesson, we'll talk a little bit about some verses in 2nd Esdras in 16, 2nd Esdras in 16 and 15. This is 2nd Esdras 16, 70, and 73. I'm going to read this. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. Insurrection is a violent uprising upon those who fear the Lord. 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoil and destroying those that fear the Lord, Yahweh. For they shall waste and take away their goods and them out of their houses. Examples of that: home invasion, rioting, looting, stealing, robbery. Number 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Related to adversity, going through different things, the great tribulation, trials and tribulations, which they're going to be going through. Relating to the impending persecution, relating to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua's people, relating to the prophets. Trials and tribulations. Also put that also with Revelations 2 and 10, 3 and 10. They're going to be put into prisons, and they're going to be going through trials and tribulations, beheading, tortures, different types of scenarios relating to adversities that the prophets and ones who are and ones alike defending and following the direction relating to this truth. And number 71. They shall be like a madman, sparing none, but still spoil and destroying those that fear the Lord. And that relates to violently coming against an uprising against the ones who are relating to fearing the Lord. And that relates to the prophets, because the prophets they're going to be pretty much physically attacked, and they're going to be persecuted. Like I said, these are the pre-persecutory stages relating to the trials and tribulations. We're in the beginning stages now. Like in the video I was saying, relating to that congressional meeting relating to questioning relating to about the Hebrew Israelites. So these are the pre-persecutional stages, man. But relating to when the stuff really hits the fan, this relates to the impending persecution of Yahweh's people. Relates to the physicality of actually they're gonna lay hands on them, and all kinds of things are gonna happen. Now that chapter talks about 1 through 17. The further denunciation. Denunciation is public condemnation against someone or something. The horrors of the last days, 18 to 34, relating to the things that's going to be happening in the latter times, such as great tribulation, death, violence, destruction, etc. 35 through 50, Yahweh's people must prepare for the end. That relates to spiritually prepare spiritually psyche for the things to come. (51 through 67), the power and wisdom of Yahweh relates to the knowledge, the majesty, and the power that cannot be understand or fathom, related to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua. 68 through 73 relates to the impending persecution of Yahweh's people as the prophets, 1/3 alike. 74 through 78, the promise of divine deliverance. That relates to going through faith and belief, that ultimately the prophets going through all they're going to go through are going to believe that that ultimately they're going to be delivered. You know what I mean? Through all the trials and tribulation that relates to deliverance from Yahweh Shem Yahshua ultimately. I'm going to read 2nd Esdras 15, 14 through 19. Pretty much the times we're in, the precursor times that we're in. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Pretty much a warning to what's going to happen. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Swords in their hands for all forms of weaponry, specifically guns. And that relates to ultimately uprisings, civil unrest, uprisings, nation against nation, people against people, race wars, you name it, etc. 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. That relates, they're going to put the powers in their hands to ultimately go and rise up against the princes in power, which are the ones in authority. And that's happening in various countries all over the world, from last year especially to currently. And they rising up against for issues politically, socially, financially, and various other reasons. And that's what's happening all over the world. The sedition, we in that now. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's martial law. We're in the stages now, martial law, medical martial law, lockdown, for example. Stay-at-home orders. That's pre-martial law. I guess medical martial law. Ultimately, did a video relating to Donald Trump's going to call military to ultimately relate to the vaccinations, testing, vaccinations, etc., and further on. Mark of the beast, all different things. That relates to that HR 666. Given pretty much relating to that bill relating to pretty much funding different organizations and entities for testing relating to the COVID virus. And ultimately, in using the military and other forces can relate to foreign or pretty much foreign or what's the other word I want? Specially hired, I guess. And so he's implementing different forces from the National Guard and other forces to help implement pretty much to get people tested, to get them vaccinated, and get them ultimately leads to the bigger thing, which we gotta say pretty much the microchip. So these things we in the precursor stages of these things. You know, there's various articles talking about that, relating to also the HR 666 or HR 6666. And let's continue on. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Even all what they're going through, they're relating to their pride. You know what I mean? They're going to still underestimate the severity or seriousness relating to what's really going on. That pride is going to be high, on a high level, relating to the true understanding of these things. You know what I mean? They're not going to take it seriously relating to what's going on, you know. Number 19. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. Lack of bread is famine. We in that stage now. Still pretty much pre-empty shelves in these stores. Some stores are trying to fill up different supplies, but for the most part, there's a scarcity and a limited supply relating to different things. So we are in the pre-stages of different variety of things. We are in the stages of that. And this relates to ultimately the vengeance on the wicked. You know what I mean? Verses 1 through 27 talks about the vengeance of the wicked, which relates to judgment. A terrifying vision of warfare. Pretty much what's going to happen in the latter times relating to warfare, violent, death and destruction. Ultimately, the nuclear missiles will be a form of that. World War III. 34 through 45, the judgment on Babylon, which is here, aka America. Sodom, modern day Egypt, which is America. 46 to 63, judgment on Asia, other nations. Go back to, I want to read Second Esdras 15 and 12. Egypt mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten with plagues and punishments that Yahweh shall bring upon it. That relates to different scourges and of plagues that's Lord's going to send. We have a pre-example of that right now, the COVID virus. This is a plague, a scourge or a tool. You know, I mean, a scourge is something is used as a tool to ultimately implement punishment. This is a form of that. This COVID virus, man. And ultimately later on, different with other variety of different other plagues that's going to be manifesting as well. "13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fall through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation. And woe to the world and them that dwell therein." And this all relates to ultimately all these, what the Lord is going to do. Yahweh Bashem Yashal is going to do related to these different types of plagues and punishments that he's going to put upon the wicked and upon all the nations and mankind among the world. So this is judgment. Now this is just a few verses relating to that. Something quick again. We'll give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashal Bashem Rakadish. Salutation to the elders and apostles of GMS groups and ones alike. Teach 100% true. Shalom Barakathon to them. Give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yashal Bashem Rakadish. The water shalom. Thank you.